Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is video number one in the detection engineering series. This is my current home lab setup. I've set this up only for detection engineering. It's a very simple, basic setup um, running on VirtualBox. This is okay. Let me try to give you, let me walk you through the setup as quickly as I can. There's a pfSense firewall which acts as the router between these networks. It's a firewall and it's also the gateway to the internet. It's got three network interface cards, one for WAN, which connects you to the internet. There's a LAN interface and an opt1 interface. I've got two virtual networks here. This one's what I call the victim net. Um, any machines that I plan on testing will be put into this network. At the moment, it's got two VMs, sorry, a Windows 11 virtual machine and a Parrot OS. The Parrot OS is where I plan to initiate attacks from, and the Windows 11 is what I will be using to analyze those attacks. Both of these machines have Wazuh agents on it, and there are firewall rules that allow the agents to talk back to Wazuh, which sits in a different network. I call that monitor net. At the moment, there's only one Wazuh server, but this has been set up to, in the future, if I introduce other security solutions to this environment, it would also sit in the monitor net. So, for example, if I siren in the background, apologies for that. But yeah, in the future, if I want to, let's say, uh, add the elk stack to my environment, the elk server would sit here in the monitor net. Or if I want to, let's say, um, add security onion, that would also sit in the monitor net. You get the idea. The reason I've set it up this way is because the logs look a lot cleaner, um, and it's easy to analyze stuff. And that's it, guys. This is a /24 network, and this is a /29 network. It's that simple. It's a very um, it's not that complex, yeah. This Windows 11 is a vanilla install of Windows 11. I have disabled Windows Defender on it at the just temporarily, but yeah, that's about it. I haven't really changed anything. Parrot OS is also a standard install of Parrot. Right, so let's get started. This is what, before that, there are firewall rules that allow these. I don't know what's going on. I hope you can hear me, but yeah, there are firewall rules that allow these networks to talk to each other, and there's also a firewall rule to allow these agents to talk back towards Windows 11 has no internet access, and only the parent machine can access the internet, right? I'm not going to get into the details, but that's pretty much what you need to know. And setting this up in a home lab is extremely easy. If you don't know how to do it, then there's tons of videos on YouTube that show you how to do this. So now that that's out of the way, let's get back to Parrot. I don't know if whoa, I don't know what's going on. Right. Okay, so reset this. Okay, so this is the Windows 11 machine here. I've just restarted the Parrot OS. And first things first, let's see if the Wazuh agent is running as expected. So if I type in get service name star Wazuh, yep, that what that means is the Wazuh server service is running. The Wazuh agent on the machine is working as expected. When the Kali machine is up and running, I can show you what that looks like in the, I don't know why I can't. Um, Okay, let me close this, power off the machine, and then start it again. Parrot. Sometimes, guys, things just break, and when it does, just turn it off and turn it on again. The classic IT fix. Oh shit, man. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I had to restart the Pirate OS a few times. Um, if you don't see that in the video, it's because thanks to the power of video editing, I've fast forwarded that or skipped it. I've removed that from the video because you don't have to sit and watch through all that. This is the boring part. Um, right, so the machine's up here running. If I ping 8888, this is Google's DNS, I get some response back. But if I ping the Windows machine, I get nothing back because by default, Windows blocks ICMP responses or requests and it doesn't respond. But if I ping the Parrot machine, Parrot is configured to respond to this, so it's on the same network. Yeah, it is up and running. We know that, but it's just not responding to us. But anyway, let's go to the Wazuh web portal. If I click on restore session and log back into Wazuh, also log back into pfSense. Yep, both the servers up and running. This is it takes a few seconds the first time you log in. Yeah, so let's give it some time. Uh, Going back to the Windows machine, I'm gonna close this for a second and try to locate the agent directory. So this is the where the agent stores its configuration files. We're going to be tweaking one of these files very soon, and I'll explain why in a second. So going back to Wazuh, I don't know what's gone wrong, but if I go to overview, hmm, yeah. Uh, okay, so Wazuh server up and running, Parrot OS up, obviously, and the Windows machine, Windows 11 machine is also up and running. I don't know what's happened again. Hard refresh, Control Shift R. Give me a hard refresh. If I active devices, come on, man. Okay, so there's two machines active, checking in all okay. There's a Parrot machine here and a Windows 11 machine here, right? Now, we've changed nothing so far. We've just made sure everything's up and running, checking in all okay. Things work as expected. Now let's look at the logs that we have. Before we even start with any detection engineering exercise, what I'm going to do is open Event Viewer here in the Windows 11 machine. And Go to Microsoft System, Windows. There's a lot of logs in here, but nothing that we are interested in at the moment. Okay, so let's go back to the parent machine, go to Windows 11, and let's look at the logs that we have right now. So if I go to is that threat hunting and go to events, these are all the logs that we're able to see. Yeah, there was a so at 1929, which is 7:30. Sorry, 1929. There was a log on success. Probably us. We just logged in now. Let's just to make sure the logs are working okay. I'm gonna log off. Yeah, I'm gonna log off and then log back in. But I'm gonna generate a few failed logins so that I can see in the logs. This is failed login, another failed login, another failed login, and then finally we log back in. Note the time. Time was around 1931. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so we failed login 3 times on purpose, which we can see here. Um, and there was a log on success, right? As expected, we're seeing these logs in here, but as an EDR solution, we need more logs. We need some more information on the endpoint to detect suspicious activity, um, especially process telemetry. And at the moment, we don't really get enough process telemetry from the agent simply because the agent's not configured to send process telemetry. Now, how will the agent send that telemetry? It's through sysmon. So let me create a duplicate sheet here. Okay, so at the moment, it's sending some default Windows event IDs, um, but we need to install sysmon so that we get process information and configure the Wazuh agent to send those logs to Wazuh, right? How do we do that? So let's go back to um, run this as an administrator. Yes, and go back to cd program files, OSF agent, and let's do notepad.exe, ossec.conf. Okay, this is the configuration file that we need to modify to ingest sysmon logs. If you notice, there's a bunch of, this is all XML by the way. Yeah, there's some comments here, agent buffer options, log analysis, okay, I don't know what that is, but policy monitoring, security configuration assessment, file integrity monitoring. If you was is very flexible, right? Right, you can choose exactly what you want to ingest, what you don't want to ingest. Um, Look at this, Windows registry entries to monitor. And then if you go further down, you'll see Windows as Windows registry entries to ignore. Um, right, so good stuff. What we need to do is we need to enable sysmon logging. And at the moment, I don't think sysmon's running, but we would need to download sysmon. I've already downloaded the whole sysinternals suite. It's got everything that comes in the sysinternals suite, which also has sysmon. So if I search for sysmon 64, I see sysmon 64 here. Uh, we will have to run sysmon 64.exe, and we'll need to provide it a configuration file to tell it exactly what to log. And how do we do that? We can go back to parrot and search for Wazuh sysmon config file and open the very first link here, which says sysmon config.xml. Yeah, and save page as sysmon config.xml. I'll save that in the downloads folder. And if I go to the downloads folder and spin up a Python server, Python 3 m HTTPS server on port 8080, go back to the Windows machine, open Edge and type in HTTP 50.10/8080 slash sysmon config.xml and save this as sysmon config.xml in the downloads folder. Save, close that. Sorry, my bad. Continue downloading. If I now go to cd users, VBox user, downloads, there's sysmon config.xml. Perfect. Now, what I need to do is copy the path and go into sysinternals suite and run sysmon 64.exe, accept EULA and install it with the XML file, which is slash sysmon config. No, man. Sysmon config.xml and hit enter. Okay, that's sysmon 64 is now sysmon's now running on the Windows 11 machine and it's sending logs, but sorry, and it's capturing logs, but it's not, the Wazuh agent is still not configured to send those logs to Wazuh. So how do you change that? Go back to Notepad. Yeah, if I open event viewer, I should now be able to see some sysmon logs. Go to Microsoft, Windows. Oh, I see sysmon. Sysmon operational. Wonderful. So we're seeing the sysmon logs that we wanted to see. I'm going to copy the log name from here because we're gonna need that. Um, we're gonna need that to make some changes. I'm gonna copy that, paste it in a new file. And you see this section where it says log analysis. Yeah, I'm gonna copy the whole thing. Go all the way down. Paste it in here. Okay, so application, we're going to replace application with what we just copied. Change the comment for this to sysmon logging enabled. This doesn't matter, it's a comment, it's going to ignore it. And this can stay as it is. Save this, close it. Okay, that's it. That's it. Now this should be, so what we've done is we've installed sysmon to capture process telemetry, and we've configured the Wazuh agent to send these logs back to the Wazuh server. So now if I go back to Wazuh, and there are default rules within Wazuh built on top of sysmon, so you don't have to create any rules by default. As long as it's ingesting sysmon logs, it will you know, show you those events or alerts if there are any. So if I refresh this, okay, refresh that, license activation, okay, what is it? Command line arguments, provider name, Windows security. Okay, I'm not sure what these logs are, but okay. I'm gonna remove that filter, refresh. Perfect. There's more logs flowing in. So now we have process telemetry into process creation. So this one. Coming into Wazuh. Okay, so that's perfect, guys. We have process information coming in through Wazuh. We can now create detection rules based on this logs that we're ingesting. Uh, and that's what we're going to do in the next episode.